to episode 8 of the From Scratch series, where we try to make 100 mil by only pking in the wilderness. This episode I'll be further exploring some new pking spots, and I'll also be testing out a lot of different pking setups. I decided to go to the Green Dragons, which are located at the more western side of the wilderness. There are 3 places in the wilderness where you can find back green dragons. Some more on the western side of the wilderness. In the middle there is an area between 20 and 24 wilderness, and then on the more eastern side nearby Venenadas. After a while I encountered this peak here, but it was too low level. I decided to test out again the mage range setup, and I must say over time I'm getting quite used to it. I actually didn't expect it to be so effective. What makes this setup so powerful is that you can easily stack someone out from full HP, because I'm using the Elite Void setup. While you might think that this is an easy spot to secure a kill, it's actually much harder because people can easily get a box on the green dragons nearby. In the far distance I saw someone with a fire cape and a vigorous chainmail who seems to be doing some wilderness slayer. This time I also brought the heavy ballista because I wanted to see how much I could hit with the heavy ballista throwing axe combo. The PVMer turned out to have actually quite a lot of loot on him. The main advantage of the dragging throwing axes is that right after you have used the debow into throwing axes combo, it doesn't take too long before they regain their special attack back. After the prices stabilized a bit, I decided to buy the Armadillo crossbow. So the PVMer that you just saw, I actually found him in another world again. Let's just say it didn't turn out too well for him. When purely comparing the stats of a dragon crossbow with an armadillo crossbow, you will see that the armadillo crossbow gives an additional 6 ranged attack bonus, which is not a lot, but it's definitely an interesting weapon to try out. There are also some differences in the special attacks, which mainly evolves around ranged accuracy. I decided to kill a few more people and then head off to another pking spot. After a lot of blood, sweat and tears, I was able to secure the kill.
All available paper units on alert.
When I initially saw his name, I swear I saw an hardcore Iron Man, but he actually turned out to be a normal Iron Man. Next up, I went to Scorpia, which is close to the northern border of the wilderness.
It's not up to us whether what we do is any good.
All available data units on alert.
After some time, I found out that the square that I'm currently standing on is one of the most reliable ways to hop to a different world, because the chance of getting attacked by a nearby scorpion is relatively low. Whenever you find someone, it's almost always a guaranteed kill. But what I didn't thought of was that you can actually bring a lockpick and get a box on one of the nearby NPCs. There are actually two ways by which people can escape. So like I already explained earlier, they can either go to the more northern building and bring a lockpick, or they can go to the more southern side where there is the resource area. But to be able to access the resource area, they will need to bring some GP. So to prevent this from happening, I decided to bring a lockpick and some GP. From time to time, I would see people killing the Chaos Elemental, which is quite nearby. I was hopping around for some more time, and then I found this PVMer. Let's just say that he wasn't too happy that I killed him. This was definitely one of the more bigger kills. Later on, I found some clue scroller that was trying to escape via the resource area, but because I brought some money, I could access it as well. As I completed the Wilderness Hard Diary, I only had to pay half of the price. This was probably one of the most fun pking spots so far. But as with any pking spot in the wilderness, you always have the risk of running into a team. It was a bit unfortunate for me, because the person that was running in with his spec had pit, so I couldn't protect from melee in time. But fair play to them for killing me. I rather die in this way, where I know that I took the risk of PKing in a multi-spot, than dying to a singles team. I decided to quickly get the imbued magic cape, so that I could further PK at Scorpia the next morning. Hopefully by then there won't be any teams out there. Before going back to Scorpia, I decided to trade in some more Laren skis. I actually got 3 uncut diamond pieces in a row, which equates to an overall chance of 1 in 1728, which is way over the drop rate of a Dagonite piece. But nonetheless, it's pretty good loot, at least for the Laren skis. This time I decided to bring some rune legs as well as a spirit shield to have some more defense bonus. As there was again a team active, I decided to go to the ref caves again. Something felt off when I was pking at the ref case, because I would continuously get good loot from almost every PVMer that I killed. It seemed like everyone was playing leagues at the time, because the only people I found were PVMers. This PVMer tried to use the CGS special attack, which will freeze the opponent for a certain amount of time. But because he was so focused on freezing me, he actually lost focus on his own HP. After some time, I found his main and took on the fight. While I did hit him almost continuously off prayer, I didn't really got the RNG, but I was hopeful that I could turn it around. No matter how many times I would hit him off prayer, I just couldn't get the hits in, and he eventually ended up getting away. I decided to further experiment with some new pking setups and replaced one of my combo foods with an occult necklace. This will further increase my max hit with magic from 42 to 45. The downside of this setup is that I only have one combo food, which can be quite tricky in certain scenarios, but it will force me to read things such as pit during a fight. This was again a fight where RNG was not really on my side, but to be fair, I was also fighting people with 99 defense. While I was hopping, I also encountered the new Revenant boss. At last I found this anti-peak gear, with quite a weird setup. The last weapon that I wanted to try out were the dragon claws, which up until this point I couldn't afford yet. There was still one place that I wanted to further explore, which are the black dragons located in a dungeon beneath Lava Maze. I suddenly realized that it is a lot more important to model your opponent and efficiently manage your inventory setup rather than trying to get all of your overheads right or one-ticking your gear switches. And I think that's also one of the main reasons why I'm able to efficiently use the setup with one combo food. As not many people come to this place, you will sometimes see the strangest things. The PVMer that you just saw turned out to be a 99 defense pure with a King Black Dragon KC of 256. Later on I also found someone who was doing a clue scroll. Weirdly enough, I didn't got a lot of loot. I would have expected that I would get at least 500k or more. According to the wiki, there is a master clue step where you need to dig right nearby the runite rock. Later on, I found this PVMer who got a box on a greater demon, and he also brought his ult to try to hit me off. Eventually he was able to escape. I eventually ran into some more gold farmers. Although I had explored a lot of places, I was longing to find some more PKers, so I went back to the ref caves for a last time. I got again in an interesting fight with the main. Even though none of us ended up killing each other, it was definitely one of the most fun fights I had so far. Not long after the previous fight, I got in a fight with a zerker, which had the same account build as I did and also similar gear. This shows the downside of having only one combo food, as if you do get hit a lot, you need to stay as calm and collective as possible. Eventually I also found this pure. Although he ended up having the agility shortcut. As I was getting closer and closer to the 100 mil mark, I found this PVMer. Eventually I ended up smiting him. I'm not sure if he was AFK or he DC'd, but it was definitely quite a big addition to the overall bank. And this wraps up the end of episode 8 of the From Scratch series, where we tried to make 100 mil by only pking in the wilderness. Let's look at the bank value to see how much we made. During this episode we made 22.8 mil, and we started with an initial bank value of 4.6 mil, meaning that we're currently at a total bank value of 103.4 mil. As we have successfully completed the challenge, let me close off the series by stating the following words. Whenever an adventure ends, a new adventure lies ahead to be explored.